What if I told you the biggest liar in your life is not other people, the biggest liar is your own brain? It tells you that you're failing when you're actually learning. It tells you that you're alone when you're loved. And the worst part is that you believe all of it. You're living a life based on fake news, which is created by your own mind. But today we are going to expose these lies. Think about it. You cannot use a smart TV if you don't know how to use the remote control. So, how can you use your brain, which is the most powerful machine in the world, without knowing how it works? I believe that everyone deserves to know how their mind works. Because when you understand your own brain, you don't just live a happier life, but achieving your biggest goals and dreams also becomes a lot easier. I'm Dr. Ketki, and this is the exact reason why I started this podcast, Healing with Psychology. One of the biggest reasons we suffer is because our brain processes information wrongly. In psychology, we call these cognitive distortions. It sounds like a difficult word, but in simple words, it means these are the tricks that your mind plays on you and you're not even aware of them. Today, I'll show you top 5 tricks that your mind plays on you and exactly how to fix them. So, what exactly are these cognitive distortions? So, think of these cognitive distortions like a pair of glasses. And sometimes these glasses can get foggy. And when you look through them, everything looks a bit weird, right? A small rope might look like a snake. A friend's silence might look like anger. Cognitive distortions are those dirty glasses. They are your irrational thought patterns that make you see reality in a completely different and negative way. Why is this important to know? Because your thoughts shape your life. If you think negatively, you feel negatively. And if you feel negatively, then you will never take a positive action. If you're constantly feeling anxious, low on confidence, or stressed, there's a high chance that your mind is playing one of these tricks on you. First on our list here is catastrophizing. This is when your mind turns a small problem into a massive life ending disaster. For example, you have a mild headache or some minor illness, and you go to Google and check your symptoms, and you see all the possible things that might be wrong, and you convince yourself that you have some rare, incurable disorder. Or think about our mothers. If you don't pick up their call in one or two rings, she's going to think that maybe we met with some kind of accident. She's not going to think that maybe she must be busy in a meeting or something. No, she will only think the worst, that something terrible has happened. This is classic catastrophizing. You jump to the absolute worst case scenario in seconds. So, why does this happen? Is your brain trying to scare you? Actually, no. According to science, your brain is just trying to protect you. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors used to live in jungles. So, if they saw some signs of threats around them, like maybe tiger footprints or sound of a dangerous animal, they had to assume that it was a tiger. If they assumed positive things and ignored the negatives around them, they wouldn't have survived. And we are the result of those highly careful people. So, our brains have evolved to focus on danger and the negatives around us. But today, there are no tigers in your office or in your phone, yet your brain reacts with the same fear, creating unnecessary anxiety and stress. For the most part, if you really think about it, nothing in life is an emergency. Yet we keep treating life the same way. So, if you want to catch this type of thought pattern or this trick that your mind plays on you, watch out for the thoughts that start with what if? What if I lose my job? What if I don't achieve my dreams? If you notice your thoughts spiraling down faster than a roller coaster, chances are you are catastrophizing. And to stop this, you need to stop acting like a victim and start acting like a detective. In psychology, we call this Socratic questioning. The next time your brain says this is a disaster, ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, what is the evidence? Do you have actual proof that you will get fired for making a small mistake? Or is it just a feeling? The second question is, Has this happened before? Have you made mistakes before and survived? Yes, because that's why you're here. So that means you will survive this one too. And the third, what is the most likely outcome? Not the worst outcome, but the most likely one. The likely outcome is that your boss might just ask you to correct that mistake. By asking these questions, you force your emotional brain to calm down and let your logical brain take over. Next is black and white thinking. It is also called as all or nothing. This is when you see things only in extremes, like there is no middle ground. It ruins everything because it makes you a little too harsh on yourself. Let me ask you, have you ever decided to go on a diet? So you tell yourself no sugar, no fried food starting Monday. You eat healthy for 3 days. You feel great, but then you go to a friend's party and they offer you some sweets and you take one. And immediately your brain says, oh no, I couldn't stick with my diet. It means I've already ruined it, so might as well eat the whole box. This is called black and white thinking. Your brain tells you that you can only be in one of two states, perfect or a total failure. There is no middle ground. You're either a hero or a zero. Now, this is very dangerous because life is rarely black or white, it's all kinds of gray. Did you know that before the legendary actor Amitabh Bachchan became a superstar of Bollywood, he delivered 12 back to back flops? Can you imagine 12? He could have thought, my films are flopping, so I'm a total failure. I cannot act. I should pack my bags and just leave. But he didn't. He probably recognized this thinking pattern or this thinking mistake and understood that one flop film does not mean a flop actor. He knew that failure is just an event, not a person. If you only chase perfection, you will quit the moment things get tough. But if you accept the gray areas, the struggles, and the flops, that is when you will actually succeed. Now, how to catch this type of thinking mistake? Listen for the words always or never. For example, I always mess up. I never get things right. These are all warning signs. To fix this, we need to stop using the word or. For example, success or failure, and start using the word and. Instead of saying, I ate a sweet, so I'm a failure, say, I ate a sweet and I'm still a healthy person who will eat a salad for dinner. You're bringing the gray back into your life. So you are allowing yourself to be a human being who makes mistakes but still keeps moving forward. So the next time you feel like a failure for one small mistake, remember the superstar Amitabh Bachchan. Number three is overgeneralization. I like to call it the labeling machine. So here's how it works. Imagine you go on a date or maybe an arranged marriage meeting. You meet the person, and in a few days, they send a message saying, sorry, I don't think we are a good match. So it hurts, right? Rejection always hurts. But if you are overgeneralizing, you won't just think that this one person is not right for me, that's okay. Your brain will make you think that this rejection is your entire identity. I got rejected today, which means I will always be rejected. Or men or women are all the same. Or I'm always going to be alone forever. Do you see what happened there? You took one specific event, which is one person saying no, and you turned it into a universal law for your entire life. This is like having a bad meal at a restaurant and thinking that all food is bad. It sounds silly when I say it like that, but we do this all the time to ourselves. We do this in our careers too. You fail one exam and maybe mess up one interview, and suddenly you think, I'm a failure at everything. You let one bad chapter define your whole book. To fight this type of thinking, you need to force your brain to look at the numbers. If you think, I always fail at interviews, ask yourself, wait, how many interviews have I actually been on in my life? 10? And how many of them did I actually fail? One, two. 2 out of 10 is 20%. So the truth is not I always fail. It means I failed 20% of the time and I succeeded 80% of the time. When you replace emotional words like always or never with specific numbers, the fear disappears. You realize it was just a bad moment, not a bad life. The fourth thinking mistake is personalization. Personalization is when you blame yourself for something that wasn't even in your control in the first place. You act as if you are the center of the universe, but in a bad way. You think everything negative that is happening in your life or around you is because of you. This is very common in Indian families, especially for us women. This is when you blame yourself for things that are not in your control. For example, if your child scores less marks in exam, you think I'm a bad mother. It is all my fault. Or if your partner is in a bad mood, you think, did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? You take everything personally, even if it has nothing to do with you. It creates so much guilt for no reason. Now, why is this dangerous? Because you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're taking responsibility for other people's actions and emotions. When you do this, you live in constant guilt, and guilt is a heavy, heavy bag to carry every single day. If you want to catch this type of thinking, watch out for the word because of me. He's mad because of me. They didn't enjoy the party because of me. If you're inserting yourself in every problem, you're personalizing. I want you to imagine a circle. Inside the circle is what I can control, which is my words, my actions, my effort, and outside of that circle is things I cannot control, which includes other people's moods, the traffic, the weather, and yes, your child's exam questions. So the next time you feel guilty, ask yourself, did I cause this? Can I control this? If your partner is angry or sad, you didn't cause their bad day at work. That is outside of your circle. So step back. Let people own their own emotions and feelings. You don't have to fix everything. And finally, we are on to number 5, which is mental filtering. You know the strainer that we use for tea or coffee? It's like that, but this is like a magical, evil strainer. When you pour your life through it, it catches all the negative stuff and holds on to them very tightly. But it lets all the positive stuff flow away and disappear. At the end of the day, all you have is just some bitter leaves. Mental filtering is when you don't remember the good in your life, but you only hold on to the bad parts. For example, your partner might do 10 nice things for you: make tea or coffee, pick up the kids, buy groceries, but then they forget to do one thing. And you say, they never help me, they're so lazy. So you have filtered out 10 acts of love and focused on one tiny mistake. This distortion or thinking mistake, it makes you feel like your life is completely negative, even when it's not. It blinds you to your own blessings. Notice when you're unable to accept a compliment. If someone says, great presentation, and you immediately think they're just lying, I stumbled on that last slide. And when you do that, just catch yourself. That is mental filtering at work. In my book, I recommend a specific type of journaling to fix this type of thinking. At the end of the day, your brain will naturally present you with a list of things that went wrong. I want you to force your brain to review the entire day. So sit down and write what went right today. You don't have to invent fake positivity. Just look at the facts. Did I finish my report? Yes. Did I have a good lunch? Yes. Did I lose my job? No. When you write down the whole truth, you realize that the bad things was just 5% of your day, not 100%. This way, you clean that strainer and let the sweet tea flow back into your life. So, these were the first 5 distortions or tricks that your mind plays on you: catastrophizing, black and white thinking, personalization, overgeneralization, and mental filtering. Now, remember, these are not faults in your character, they are just the dirt that is accumulated on your glasses. And now you have the tools to clean them. So, I want you to do a small homework for today. Just observe your thoughts. If you catch yourself doing any of these things, just say to yourself, stop, this is a trick. In the next episode, we will cover the remaining 5 tricks, including why we feel we should do everything perfectly and how our feelings fool us. If you could relate with this episode, please share it with a friend who overthinks. If you want to go deeper, I have a dedicated thought tracker exercise in my book, The Emotional Reset. It walks you through the process step by step. But for now, just pick one trick we discussed today and catch your brain in the act. So stop overthinking and start living. See you in part 2.